So, on this week's podcast, I'm going in on me. I'm telling you all how not to be like me and a few more things. Welcome to episode 13 of the Pep Talk podcast. I'm your host, Coach Jay. But first, I have a question for you. Have you had your dose of pep today? No? Don't worry. I've got you. Now, let's go. Welcome to the Pep Talk podcast, the podcast that cheers you on and coaches you up. I believe that everybody needs a cheerleader and everybody needs a coach. And it is my pleasure, my honor, my privilege to come to you every Monday and bring that pep directly to your YouTube feed or to your audio podcast feed. We're on YouTube, we're on Apple Podcast. And if you've been rolling with us, you know that we are all about your elevation. We're about encouragement and elevation. We want to see you grow so that you can show everybody around you what that growth is and what it looks like and what it takes. Remember, a rising tide lifts all ships. And if you're a part of this audience, you are a part of that rising tide. And you are not just lifting and elevating yourself, you are lifting and elevating everybody around you, your family, your community. I don't care where you are. Just your presence there is causing massive elevation because you're a part of the Pep Squad, and that is what we do. That's what we do, y'all. This is season 2. This is episode 13. And y'all, I promise you, these last 3 episodes from the posture of my heart have been incredible. They have been incredible, and I don't need YouTube watches to tell me. I don't need Apple Podcast metrics to tell me. It doesn't matter how many people are listening or how many people are watching. I know in my heart that these last 3 to 4 episodes, I have been giving you the absolute very best of what I've learned over the course of my life. Matter of fact, this entire season, y'all, this season has been fire. So if you're new to the Pep Talk podcast, welcome. I'm glad to have you. If you've been rolling with us for a little bit, then you know, we set you up in season 1. In season 2, we have been coming for you every week, whether it's just me giving you solo or having a guest. And I am thankful for each and every one of you who are watching. I'm thankful for every one of you who are listening. And I just want you to know how much I appreciate you, how grateful I am that you were on this journey with us. But all these niceties and platitudes, I'm going to set them aside for now because I need to talk to you. I really need to tell you not to be like me or the me I used to be. See, I have always, over my life, I have always looked for people to affirm me. Even as a child, I wanted people to see that I was great. I wanted people to see that I was special. And when I had those people in my life who saw the specialness, I guess that's a word, inside of me, I felt so sure of myself. I felt so comfortable with myself. But at other points in my life, when I didn't have those people, a mentor to say, oh, let me take you under my wing, or someone to come to me and say, oh, I see how great you are, and all this stuff, it caused real problems and real cognitive dissonance in me. Because if somebody else doesn't see how special I am, then maybe I'm not so special. My very first podcast, the Ycast, which you can still find in certain places on the internet, and I'm not sure. Was only getting like 5 listens per episode. And it was a great podcast. It was my first attempt at podcasting, so it wasn't perfect. But neither is this one perfect. But I was only getting about 5 listens per podcast. And I just sometimes would be despondent because I equated how many people were listening to the podcast to the worth, the value that I was bringing. But here's what I've had to learn. And I'm saying all of this from a deep place of humility, but I'm also issuing it forth to you as a challenge. Okay? So I need you to hear me when I say that you don't need anybody else to affirm you. You don't need anybody else in your life to tell you how special you are. Like, this is not the Lego movie where you're looking for Lego Gandalf to come and tell you that you are the special. Seriously, you don't need someone to come to you like Neo in the Matrix and say, you are the one. Because Morpheus is not coming. Gandalf is not coming to invite you on the greatest adventure of your life. And y'all could tell I watch a lot of sci-fi because of the references that I'm giving. But yo, I'm serious though. I'm so serious. I'm serious. There are people out here who were like me. And I can even be like that sometimes today. I need you to understand that. There are people out there who are like me who don't see anything else in themselves of value unless somebody sees it in them first. So you're waiting on that mentor to tell you, oh, I see something special in you. Let me mentor you. You know what? That has never happened in my life. That has never happened. I've never had someone say, oh, I see something special in you. Let me take you under my wing and show you the ropes. No, that's never happened. That's never happened. Uh, you know, I have been blessed to be surrounded by people that I can learn from by osmosis, right? But as far as someone just coming and saying, yo, I think you're dope. I'm going to put you on game. I'm going to give you the keys to the kingdom so that when I'm done, you can take over. No. And I'm sorry that for probably 90% of us out there, that is going to be our experience in life. We're going to be sitting waiting for someone to see the greatness within ourselves instead of spending the time necessary, spending the solitude and the reflection time necessary to see the greatness in ourselves. So you don't need anybody to affirm you. You don't need anybody to tell you how great you are. You don't. We often start at that point because we think that if everybody else can see it, then surely it must be there. Surely, if my podcast is getting hundreds of thousands of listeners, then I'm bringing value. No, 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 no. I don't care if 20 people are listening to the podcast because I'm bringing value. And those 20 who listen, they are getting that value. And if they decide to share it with a friend, and please share it with a friend. But even if you choose not to, even if my social media posts, even if my reels, y'all, reels and TikToks are crazy. Sometimes I get a lick and I hit one, and just out of nowhere it gets me thousands of views. But other times it gets like 57 views. Does that lessen my value as a person? Does that lessen the message? No, it does not, because my value does not come from what other people think. If I were a product in a store and somebody only thought that I was worth a penny, that may be my value to them, but my value to myself, y'all, I'm worth multi-billions of dollars. Because I had to learn that nobody can affirm me. Because if I don't first see the value in myself, if I don't see the intrinsic value of Coach Jay, if I don't see the value and the treasure in Justin, how can I expect somebody else to see it? And I need you to see my face. I need you to hear my voice. I need you to see and to feel my passion right now, because there are people out there who are waiting on their dreams. You're waiting on somebody to co-sign on your dream. You're waiting on somebody out there to partner with you on this big adventure of your life. But what if that person never comes? What if those people never come to help you start that business? What if those people never come to say that your good or your service is worth it to the masses? What if they never come? Are you just going to twiddle your fingers? Are you going to forget all about it because you don't think anybody saw the value in it? I've said it before, and I will say it again. Oftentimes, people are not early adopters on anything except for technology. That is why your friends and your family often will be the last people to jump onto your vision. We sit back and we wonder why we come up with a product, but we can't get our friends or our family to jump in with us and see, and help us get those sales and stuff. We wonder, why sometimes strangers are more quick to get involved or not. Y'all, when the more that people know us, or the more that people think they know us, the harder it is to notice when that special thing inside of us really begins to show itself because they know us or they think they know us. But it's okay because we don't need our friends and family to be early adopters. We need ourselves to be the early adopters. I need to believe in me before anybody else does. I can't do this podcast saying that I don't believe in this message. I do believe in this message. That's why I come to you every week, and that's why I'm so on fire, y'all, because 2023 is on its way out. 2023 is on its way out, y'all. We have, about 6 more weeks in 2023. And some of y'all are out here playing around with your value. You're out here playing around with your dreams. You're out here playing around with your goals, thinking that you have all the time in the world, thinking that you're going to wait until 2024 to finally see that God has placed something inside of you that is not normal, that is not ordinary, but God has placed something inside of you that is extraordinary, that God wants to use to help other people see and access the special inside of them. Yeah, I'm your Gandalf right now. I'm telling you that you're the special. In whatever lane of life you're in right now, I'm telling you that you are the special. You are the chosen one. You are the light bringer. You are the person who is leading the way. You're lighting a path. You are forging ahead and making a way for those who come behind you to have an easier way getting where you're going. And it doesn't matter if nobody's following you yet. It doesn't matter if nobody else is subscribing to you yet, or if nobody else is ascribing to what you're doing yet, or if nobody else is affirming you or complimenting you. It does not matter. It does not matter who sees how great you are. As long as you see it, you have to see it. You have to see how great you are. And every day that you don't see it, that you don't notice it, that you don't self-affirm how great you are is a day that you are wasting. It's a day where that spark inside of you dims just a little bit. It is a day where the impact that you were meant to have in life gets diminished by just a little bit. And I'm not here for it. I'm not here to watch you waste what has been given to you. I am not here to sit back comfortably and watch you squander what has been given to you that should be honored, that should be cherished, that should be treasured. Because what's inside of you is not inside of anybody else, even if y'all inhabit the same industry, right? As a teacher, I see it that I don't have to teach the exact same way as somebody else for my impact to be just as great. Y'all, we are not the same, but we don't have to be. You don't have to do things the way that I do. I don't have to be like Trevor Noah. And you say, bro, you're comparing yourself to Trevor Noah? You're comparing yourself to Lisa Nichols? You're comparing yourself to Dr. E.T. Eric Top, the hip hop preacher? I'm not comparing myself because I'm running my own race. But do I believe that the potential for impact within me is on that same level? Oh, you best believe I do. You best believe I do. I just don't have the listenership. I just don't have the audience. But what I'm giving you, what I give to you for free every Monday, and when I drop reels and TikToks during the week, what I'm giving you, I'm bringing you value because I'm speaking to you from my heart and the passion that I have for seeing you elevate, for seeing you passionately pursue a pathway that has already been laid out before you. And I'm telling you that nobody can affirm you the way that you can affirm you. Nobody's going to love you the way that you have to learn to love yourself. Nobody is going to be there for you the way that you have to learn to be there for yourself. Nobody's going to know you, which is why it's important that you make time every day to affirm what's great about you, that you make time every day to affirm what is special about you. that you make time every day to reflect on what you have overcome to this point. Because here's another mistake that I made. Because I didn't have what I thought was an extraordinary story, I didn't think my story was worth telling. I didn't think it was worth talking about my adoption because it wasn't that traumatic for me. I didn't think, nobody rescued me from a car. I didn't survive a flood or anything like that. So I didn't think that, people want to listen. And we spend so much time discrediting ourselves. We spend so much time tossing the spark in us by the wayside. We spend so much time absolutely not giving anything or not contributing anything or not allowing anything about just the beautiful nature of our lives, y'all. Because your story may not be this astronomical story, but it's still a story, and it's a story that somebody needs to hear. Your invention may not be the light bulb, or it may not be, a DSLR camera, or it may not be the clapper or a chia pet, but it's something. And I promise you that there is somebody out there who needs to see it, but before they see it, you've got to believe in yourself. Because when you believe in yourself, you can take every no. You hear me? You can take every no. You can sift through every disappointment because you understand that the no's and the disappointments, they only attack you if you allow them to. And so when people don't believe in you, it doesn't hurt you. It's okay. They just don't know yet, right? They just can't see it yet. And they weren't meant to see it yet. Only you were. That's why the dream was given to you. But if you refuse to see it, if you refuse to buy into your own dream, into your own vision, if you refuse to invest in the coaching that you need, to invest in the opportunities that you need, if you refuse to just go about the basic step of just sitting with yourself and saying, yo, Justin, I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in your podcast. I believe in your book that you wrote. I believe in the books that you're going to write that haven't come to you yet. I believe in your vision. I believe in your mission. I believe in your values. I love you for it, man. You are not the greatest human being to ever walk the earth, but you're doing the best you can, and that's good. When you spend some time doing that with yourself, then the applause of others, you begin to hear it less and less and less because it becomes a nice garnish on top of the dish rather than the main entree. And the garnish, it makes it look pretty, but you can't eat it because it doesn't provide you any nourishment. It doesn't provide you any value. It does nothing for you. When you allow the affirmation of others to overwhelm how you feel about yourself, when they take it away from you, you're left feeling empty and you're still hungry. You're still hungry for love. You're still hungry for acceptance. You're still hungry to belong. That's why I will say it now until I am blue in the face that you've got to affirm yourself. You just have to. No matter how many times you're told no. You have to. And I think about my daughter. My daughter she's one of the bravest, my oldest daughter is one of the bravest young women that I know. And she's walking out a story. She's building a story for herself. She wants to be a dance teacher. She's been a dancer since she was about 3 years old. She wants to be a dance teacher. She's in school, and she did not get into the dance program at the school. But you know what she's done? She didn't give up. She has been renting out the studio at her campus. She goes up there and she's been working through preparing for the next round of auditions. She did not allow the no from somebody else to be final. And even though she's had moments where she's doubted herself, I think she's at a point now where she's so hungry. She's allowed the delay, the no to not be final, but to only be a delay. And I think she believes in her skills now more than she ever has, because to see the dance solo that she put together for her auditions, Y'all, it made me and my wife cry. Like big, fat tears rolling down our faces. Because we saw through her dance that she believed in herself. And Kayla, I love you. Hope you don't mind me talking about you, but I'm so proud of you as your dad. Because to me, you are exemplifying exactly what I'm talking about. The affirmation of others, baby girl, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you can affirm yourself. And I don't know who needs to hear this, who out there needs to hear this. Let them tell you no. Let them tell you no. I was listening to a talk by Myron Golden. He's somebody that I look up to. This guy has figured it out in ways that I have not. He's like a Jedi. He's like a Jedi. But he was talking about when he was in sales, he came up with this game that he would play with himself to see if he could get, instead of when he's trying to sell something, instead of getting yeses, he was trying to get like 10 no's in a row. Because he learned that each successive and subsequent no built up resolve in him. And slowly, he was able to get 5 no's in a row. Then he'd get 2 no's and get a yes, so he'd have to start over again. He began to hunger for the no's because the no's fueled a hunger inside of him. Y'all, if you're not taking the risk, if you're not willing to get told no, I'm going to say this. Gosh, and I'm saying this to myself. If you're not willing to be told no, then you're not willing to go. You're not willing. You're not ready. You don't believe in yourself enough yet. Because if people aren't telling you no, then you're not trying. And if you're waiting on everybody to tell you yes, then you are wasting your time and you are wasting valuable developmental and learning space. You are wasting opportunities to become great if you're looking for everybody to tell you yes. You're missing valuable opportunities to foster greatness and resilience in yourself if you are consistently waiting on somebody else to affirm you. You are wasting your time. You are wasting your life if you are consistently waiting on somebody to see what's special in you. Take that time and build up yourself. Take that time and invest in yourself. Take that time and invest in taking your potential and turning it into something that is moving. Y'all, there are doors that will only open in your life when you put motion behind them. And what if the motion that you need to become all that you were meant to be? What if the only motion that you need to open the doors that have been closed before you is just to believe in yourself? What if that's the motion? What if your belief in yourself is the motion that sets into continual motion everything that you've ever dreamed about? What if you affirming yourself is the key to the lock that you have been trying to pick all of your life? So here's what I need you to do. I need you to actually sit down and I need you to write down everything that is good and great and special about you. And you may say, Coach Jay, I can't think of anything. Okay. Then I need you to go to 3 of your trusted friends. And I need you to ask them, hey, friend, I need you to give me 3 to 5 things that you think are good, great, or special about me. Yes, they are affirming you. But I don't want you to use that as your definition. I want you to look at their list and I want you to try to see yourself in those things and then write your own list again. Because I need you to see that you're special. I need you to see that you're worthy. I need you to see that there is a spark of the divine within you. I need you to see that even if nobody else sees you, if nobody else has confidence in you, you see you. You need to see you. And I'm not talking about just vanity staring in the mirror either. I'm talking about really see you. You need to see what's extraordinary about you. Because I know that if you're listening to this podcast As God is my witness, there is something inside of you that is earth shaking, something ground shaking, something seismic. There's something inside of you that is just screaming and banging and clawing to come out. And it all starts when you quit waiting on everybody else to see it and you choose to see it yourself. Now, I promise you, they'll see it eventually. But by then, it doesn't matter who else sees it so long as you do. And I'm so serious right now. I am so serious, y'all. I prayed before this episode. I said, God, I need something. Give me something to say to your people who are listening to this episode that will help them to see how you've created them. And if something that I've said over the course of this episode does that, then I'm happy. I'm happy. And yes, I want you to share this episode. Yes, I want you to share it. I want you to share it and share it again. I want you to email me at thepeppodcast@gmail.com and let me know what you like about the episode. Hit me up on Instagram @_JB Speaks to let me know what you like about this episode. I need to know. I want to know. I want to know. But guess what? If nobody shares this episode, if nobody hits me up on Gmail or on Instagram or on YouTube at the Pep Talk Podcast, if I don't hear from anybody, I know in my heart that I was faithful to my assignment and I gave you exactly what I was supposed to give you. And what you do with it, that is up to you, because this is your Monday life coaching session to start your week off. You heard me? Because that's what we do on the Pep Talk Podcast. Y'all, this has been season 2, episode 13. I think it's 13 of the Pep Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Jay, a life coach in DFW, and I would be more than glad to do some one-on-one coaching with you. If you think that would benefit you, then I would be glad to play a small role in the journey of your life, because I do believe in you. I do believe in how great you are, but even I don't want you leaning on my belief when you need to have more belief in yourself than I have in you. So as we get ready to close out this episode, take some time, make some time this week just to sit with the fact that you are great. And if it makes you uncomfortable, keep sitting in it. And if your mind starts to wander, focus back in. Because I need you to see, I need you to understand that before anybody else is going to believe in you, before anybody else is going to invest in you, before anybody else is going to affirm you, you need to do all of those things for yourself. Be your own hype man. My buddy, Coach Stone, always says when he comes into a room, Coach Stone is in the building. Yo, Coach Jay is in the building. When you enter a room, I want you to say, I'm in the building. Affirm your presence. Affirm it. Because if you don't, nobody else is. So will you do that for me? I need you to do that for me. I need you to do that for me. Oh, and join our Facebook podcast group, the Pep Talk Podcast community. The link is in the show notes. Y'all, I love you. I think you're great. I think you are great. And if you are listening to this podcast, I think you are the salt of the earth. I think you are tremendous. I think you are absolutely phenomenal. But again, what I think in the grand scheme of things doesn't matter. It's what you think. And I hope that you're not listening to this thinking that you're garbage, that you're trash. Because if you do, then we need to work on that. So hit me up and we'll get started. So as we like to say when we end this podcast every week, keep it love, keep it light, and keep it it's the Pep Talk Podcast Season 2, Episode 13. I'm your boy, Coach Jay. Y'all, have a great week and be blessed. Peace.